about why so many women lose weight but are still not pleased with their physique. Now, if you're new here, just briefly, my name is Bianca. I started my fitness journey back in 2016, around that summer, when I decided to stop eating meat. I completely cut meat out of my diet, started being vegetarian, and started exercising about 2 to 3 days per week. I was 232 pounds when I weighed myself that one day. I could have been more, but yeah, I was 232 pounds at my heaviest, and seeing those numbers and had like 32% body fat, it lit something inside of me that told me like, enough is enough. This is not me. It doesn't feel like me. I don't know what this is, but something's got to change. So since then, I went on my journey. I decided to cut out meat because it's like, I eat meat every day. So if I stop eating meat, clearly I would be eating less, so I would lose weight. It was just like simple maths, right? I was younger then, y'all. I didn't know a lot, clearly. But that's just what I chose to do. And cutting out meat was just the start for me. Once I did that, I actually started exercising more regularly. Back in high school, I played volleyball and shot put and discus for maybe a year. So I liked being active, but outside of sports, I wasn't very active. I didn't really start getting into the gym until I got back to university that summer that I decided to cut out meat. So, cut out the meat. I'm doing home workouts 2 to 3 days per week, outdoor exercises, like just running in the parking lot with my sister, doing sit-ups, basic stuff. And I was still able to lose 20 to 30 pounds. That is what really lit a fire in me, like, oh wow, as long as you're consistent in some type of way, you will see results. So once I got back to school, I was all into high intensity training, cardio, just being very active and putting out a lot of energy because that's what I knew worked. It wasn't until maybe a year or even maybe a year into my journey that I started to incorporate more strength training. I started to learn more about that. But starting out, all I knew was cardio and eating less. And that goes into this conversation. The truth is, yes, weight loss, especially for the girlies, we look for this number on the scale to decrease, to know that yes, we are losing weight. But that number on the scale doesn't necessarily tell you if you're losing fat or muscle. And this is very important when it comes to your body composition, right? It wasn't until maybe years into my journey that I realized, okay, I keep losing weight, but I'm not looking as thick or curvy as I would like. And naturally, at my heaviest, when I was 232 pounds, I had curves to me, right? So it's just like, okay, I'm losing weight, but I'm feeling small, and my curves don't feel filled in how I think they should. So that was mainly because I was just focusing so much on losing weight and not prioritizing maintaining muscle mass. Ooh, biggest life lesson when it comes to my fitness journey. Like, you have to prioritize maintaining, if not increasing your muscle mass, and shedding the fat, not just losing the weight. Most women will think like, okay, I'll just lose 20 pounds and I'll look toned, but that's not necessarily how that works. You actually have to be intentional about building strength and muscle to look more defined / toned. Like I said, when I was prioritizing cardio and eating less, I literally had a motto like, you want to lose weight, eat less, move more. Don't do that. I would not go by that today. If you were to ask me today, I would tell you to prioritize protein, lift weights, or prioritize strength training in your training. And yeah, do be more active, of course, because the truth is, if you're not strength training and you're just doing all of that cardio and eating less, you can turn out looking like skinny fat. meaning you have like no definition, but you're clearly smaller. And also, worst case scenario, you don't want to have a whole lot of excess skin when you could have been prioritizing lifting weights and toned your muscles as you shed fat. That's the another benefit of lifting weight, especially heavy weight, because it helps you maintain your muscle, gain strength, and shed fat over time. I learned the long and hard way that muscle is actually what gives you that curvy, toned, and sculpted physique. I think for a long time, I shied away from lifting heavy because I feared looking too masculine. Crazy for me to say, but I say that also because I grew up a tomboy. And in working out and losing weight, I became more petite than I had ever been in my entire like adulthood, right? So lifting heavy made me think, oh, I would go back to looking or feeling masculine. And I shied away from that because I really, really wanted to grow in my femininity. And the crazy thing about it is, since changing the way that I thought and actually lifting heavier, I have been able to build my curves and fill in how I felt that I should have when I was losing all that weight. So learn from my mistakes. Lift heavy. The only way you'll look masculine is, one, if you're doing too much, okay? It takes a long time to build muscle. So by the time you get there, you'll know like, okay, it's enough for me. I like this shape that I'm at. Like, it takes time, consistency, and a lot of intention in planning and prepping. So you're not just going to start lifting a heavy weight and then all of a sudden you look masculine. And also, it's like an energy thing, from what I think. So the way you carry yourself, the way you move, the way you dress, etc., this is what adds on to your femininity or masculinity, etc. And sometimes, honestly, just accept yourself for who you are. There's nothing wrong with having a more, I think it's also the terms we give it, but more masculine build, because if that's what being strong and looking strong exudes, then that's just what it is. Because at the same time, I want to be strong. I want to look like I am strong. So it's like, okay, at this point, I'm fighting against myself. So once I let go of that, I accepted the fact that I'm a strong woman, I'm still feminine, I still have curves, etc. I was really able to build the physique that I think is my best physique as of yet, but of course there's always room to grow. So what it takes to actually get there, because like I said, once I started, I thought it was cardio, more cardio, and eating less, which does not help you maintain your curves, as we have learned. But what works instead is prioritizing protein. What I heard before I put in practice was a gram of protein per pound. But once I actually started implementing this and tracking my meals, so important, tracking how much you're eating, grams of protein, is really what I focus on in calorie intake, to make sure I'm in a deficit and I'm getting the right amount of protein per day to maintain, if not build muscle, right? So a gram of protein per pound. Then prioritizing strength training 3 to 4 days per week. So at least 3 to 4 days per week. But for 3 to 4 days out of that week, you do want to lift heavy, and you want to think about progressive overload, right? So meaning you are increasing the volume as you grow into your training. You still want to do cardio. Like, don't get me wrong, cardio is not the problem. It's too much cardio that becomes an issue when it comes to building the physique that will have you feeling curvy and strong and toned, right? So definitely still do the cardio, but don't have it be your foundation. The foundation is strength training, ultimately. And last but not least, consistency and patience. Like, like I was saying, these things take time. Building muscle takes time, and you don't want to try to rush the process in a way that would either cause you to harm yourself and have to take a few steps back, because it really takes longer to go back and get to where you were before you hurt yourself to continue to move forward than it does to take your time to progress as you should. Like, you don't want to learn that one the hard way. It really does take time. So be patient, be consistent, have a plan, stick to the plan, show up no matter how you feel, or depending on how you feel, have enough room in your plan to be able to have those rest days. You see, because I train about 6 days a week now. So if one day I don't show up, it's not gonna kill me. Literally, like, there's another day after that. And by the grace of God, I will be able to see that day. So I'll be able to move a certain training session, for the next day. So have a plan, be consistent, be patient with yourself. Like, it's a journey. It's a journey. So I'll leave y'all with this. If you're looking to shed fat, build a strong physique long term, which requires a lifestyle change, right? Do not be afraid to lift weights. Don't be afraid to eat. Don't be afraid to eat meat, honestly. And don't be afraid to lift heavyweight either. If God gave you the strength and you build that strength up, use it while you can. Because honestly, the older we get, the more we will be glad that we did when we did. So if you don't have a plan, make a plan, stick to the plan. If you need a plan or a coach, I'm always here. You can reach out to me via Instagram or send me an email. And also just know that being strong does not take away from your femininity. I promise you. If this helps shift your mindset in any way, do drop a comment below and let me know. Also, let me know your current goals. Are you losing weight, maintaining, building strength, etc.? Leave me a comment below. I look forward to reading all your comments. Be sure to save, share, subscribe to this channel, and look forward to more videos. Bye.